All right, here we go. We're back again. Another episode. Side Hustle Podcast. We got a very special guest today. He's right now he's in the towards the getting back on it, right? The boxing career, starting to get that going again.
Yeah, man. I would say
a little bit of a break.
Yes, I would say the come up again, man.
I'm
back on the come up again.
Back
man.
on the come up.
Like it.
There you go. Yeah, we got Jojo Diaz with us. Excited for this one, man. I followed your career, Jojo, from the first time I heard you. I think you're like on a Canelo undercard, maybe. I don't remember, man. It was a long time ago, but I heard you're Almani. I had some history in Almani. So super excited to have you on the show, brother. I've been a fan for a long time.
Me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for taking
coming
the time.
out.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Yeah, no, so let's get right into it, man. Let's how you been? How's everything going?
Everything's going good, man. I mean, obviously my career is not as where I want it to be. Had a couple consecutive losses in my career, man, but I feel like overall I have a positive mindset. I have good motivation with my son that is motivating me to continue on with my career so I could, give him a brighter future. So I'm just training hard and probably going to be, signing another deal pretty soon. So I should be fighting, looking like most likely in July.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
How many kids you got?
I got one. Yes, I got one kid.
One kid?
Two-year-old. His name's Zenith Diaz, man.
Oh, nice.
He's amazing, man. Yeah, I could just see all my similarities with him, man. He does everything exactly to the T that I do. So it's pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool, brother.
What age did you start? Did you actually get into like boxing? What age did you start at?
I started boxing when I was 11 years old. I used to play baseball a lot, man. I was a really, really good baseball player. I played all the way until I was freshman in high school, in South Almani High School. And then the varsity coach wanted me to play varsity baseball because I was really, really good. But I always used to leave practice early because I used to go to the boxing gym. Because I started training when I was 11, so I always used to just go to the boxing gym, beat everybody up, and I was like really, really good, man. So at my freshman year, the varsity coach wanted me to play varsity baseball. I ended up telling him that I'm still boxing and stuff like that. So he gave me the ultimatum, man. He was like, yo, if I'm going to have you playing varsity baseball, there's going to be a couple of seniors that are going to be, getting jealous and getting upset that you're leaving practice early and stuff like that. So you got to decide what you want to do. Do you want to continue with your boxing or you got to take some time off and play baseball? So then I was like, man, give me a day. So I ended up going back home, really thinking about it, really embracing it because it was a big decision in my life because I was like, all right, if I really, focus on my boxing, I got to focus on my boxing. If they want me to play baseball, varsity baseball, I mean, I'm probably going to get a lot of chicks and stuff like that because I play varsity baseball, but I'm not the size that is ideal for a baseball player. Yeah. So I took that into consideration and I was like, man, probably the best I could probably do is probably get a scholarship as far as, playing baseball. Yeah. So then I started thinking about boxing and I started looking at everybody. I was like, man, Oscar De La Hoya, all these guys, man, they're like my size. They started fighting, competing at 120 pounds, 125 pounds, 130 pounds, and they're making a lot of money. I was like, damn, so I'm just going to compete at this. I ended up going back to my varsity coach and told him that I wasn't going to play varsity baseball, and I just stuck to boxing, man, and started competing, started winning a lot of championships, started winning a lot of amateur titles, went all the way to the Olympic trials, won the Olympic trials, and then became a 2012 Olympian.
Nice. And did that have anything to do like where you grew up in Monty? Like, is that like from like fighting or if like get in fights and stuff like that, or is that kind of where it originated or not?
Well, the reason why I started boxing was because I was so small, man. I was like 4'6", 4'5", and when I was a freshman, man, I wasn't I was barely like 5 foot. So like a lot of people used to try to pick on me and bully me. So when I was 10 years old, man, I was getting bullied and picked on a lot. And one day my dad, I came home and my dad and my mom, they seen a whole bunch of bruises on me and stuff. And then my mom was like, what is that? And I was like, oh, I was trying to hide it, dude, because I was scared of these bullies, man. So I didn't want them to see it or anything like that. And my mom was like, what is this? What is this? Are these bruises? And I was like, yeah. So then my mom ended up telling my dad And then my dad ended up taking me to the boxing gym. He was like, man, you got to start learning self-defense. He was like, Joseph, because if you constantly getting bullied, and if you're going to let these bullies pick on you, if you don't stand up for yourself, they're just going to constantly just overwhelm you and constantly just keep on doing it consecutively. He was like, you got to put your foot down. You got to learn self-defense. So he took me to the boxing gym. Crazy story, man. So when I went to the boxing gym, I went with my dad, and it was a boxing gym in South Amani. It's called South Amani Teamsters Youth Boxing Club. And the main guy there is Ben Lira. And I went there, and we were talking to Ben. And when I walked in, I seen one of the bullies that picked on me, dude. And he was, so I was like, oh hell no, man. I was like, no way. And I was like, damn it, he's a boxer too. So I was already scared. Like I almost shit my pants, dude. I was really scared, man. So I was like, shit. So then, like I was trying to hide behind my dad and stuff like that. And then the guy seen me. Then he came up to me with his couple of his friends. He was like, hey, like, what, you think you want to box and stuff like that? Like, you can't box. He was like, you want to box? Let's spar. And at the time, I had no idea what the hell sparring was, dude. Shoot. And my dad was right there, so I don't want to look like a fucking pussy or anything like that. So I was like, all right, give me a week, man. And they were all giggling, him and his friends. They're all giggling and stuff like that. They're like, all right, sounds good, a week. So then they ended up walking away. We ended up talking to Ben, all that stuff. Ended up leaving the boxing gym, and I was like, Dad, like, what is sparring? What's sparring? He's like, son, like, sparring is when you're gonna have to go inside the ring and you're gonna have to fight him. And you said that you're gonna fight him in the ring in a week. He was like, son, this is gonna be a lesson for you. Yeah. He was like, you gotta, really stand up for yourself and defend yourself, because once you defend yourself, I guarantee you the guy's gonna respect you after. So I was like, all right. And my dad was a street fighter back in the day and stuff like that. So he was like, I'm gonna teach you how to fight a little bit. Yeah. He was like, I'm also gonna like look up stuff. So he started looking stuff up on YouTube. At the time, YouTube was barely coming up.
How old was YouTube back then?
So he started looking up on YouTube. He was reading books and stuff. And I still remember the one that he would actually like look up. It was Teddy Atlas. And he had like a YouTube channel. I guess it was like a Top Rank or something like that. Title Boxing. It was like videos of how to demonstrate like throwing shots and stuff like that. And one thing I do remember was we were watching a video. My dad was telling me, all right, son, like, one thing you got to do is you got to throw body shots, because if you throw body shots at the guy, you're going to break them down. They're going to get tired, and then you're going to be able to, start throwing punches on top. Yeah. I was all right, cool, sounds good. So the whole week we were practicing them in our backyard. My dad had, he was on his knees. I was fighting him and stuff like that, just getting ready. And then a week passed. We ended up going back to the gym, and I was ready to spar, man. We go up to the ring. The guy takes off his shirt. He's all shredded. He has a whole six pack and everything. At the time, I was a baseball player, dude. I was all, so like my dad was like, take off your shirt too. Take off your shirt too. I took off my shirt too. I was all fat. I was flabby and shit. It was embarrassing. I was like, damn, man. And he was like, all right. So I go to my corner. My dad's like, all right, son, like the thing that you could do is the guy's smaller than you, because I was obviously fatter than him and stuff like that. He was like, so make sure you throw your body shots, because you're going to break him down, because you're a lot heavier than him and you're going to hit harder. So throw body shots first and then pick up and throw shots on top after. And I promise you're going to hurt him. I was like, okay. So then that's what I did, man. The first round came, started throwing body shots. Boom, 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 boom. Second round came, dude. I was throwing body shots again. And then I caught him on top. Boom. And the guy already had like a year and a half experience.
Oh, he had already been there a year?
Yeah, he's already been there for a year and a half. He was already an experienced fighter, man. So we ended up sparring, and then I ended up catching him, made his nose bleed, made him cry. I beat him up, dude. I beat him up, man. And then after that, I just fell in love with the sport, just knowing that I was able to defend myself. I just fell in love with it, man. I started going every fucking day, started just training, started running to the gym, man. I just fell in love with the sport, and I had that passion and had that drive to just keep on going.
And that was at 11 years old?
I was at 11 years old, man. Yeah, 11 years old.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
11 years old, and then I ended up competing at 12. Went all the way. I was 18 and I went all the way to 18-0. At 13 years old, I went to the nationals. In Kansas City, Missouri. Oh. And I competed there. I ended up taking my first L there, man, but I made it all the way to the nationals, bro. And then just started, going back and training and stuff like that, and just winning, dude, competing. Yeah, man.
Hey, do you think like a chin, dude? A chin is actually something that you're just naturally born with, or something that you can build around, or is just something you're God given?
I think it's a matter of both, man. I think it's a matter of both. I think it's a matter of training your body and just having that instinct of getting hit and knowing that you're going to get hit and embracing it. I feel like with a lot of practice and a lot of, sparring, you could get that, because obviously you're sparring different guys, different weights. With me, man, I spar guys that are 20, 30 pounds heavier than me. So that way when I'm fighting, the guys at my weight class, their punches aren't anything to me. I know that I could take a punch because I've been sparring guys that are 30, 40 pounds heavier than me. So if this guy is my size and my weight, then he's not going to be able to knock me out at all.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, I seen you get rocked a couple. I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah,
man! You guys
man.
could take a hit, bro.
Yeah, man. I got hit a couple times. I never been knocked down,
Yeah.
never been dropped or anything like that, man. So I have a pretty grinded chin.
Yeah. Hey, so to kind of go back to 11 years old, if you can remember that far back, right?
Yeah.
At 11 years old, how do you know, like, this is what I want to do for a living? Do get hit in the face? Like, take a special person to get hit in the face and think that this is the career I want?
Yeah, I just, I mean, like I said, I just fell in love with it, just knowing that I got that respect,
Yeah.
just from like my bullies and stuff like that. Like after I beat that guy up,
Mhm.
all the other bullies, like they weren't
That
even
was
touching
it.
me or anything. They're like, no, I don't want to get anymore. So like, just knowing that I had that respect around just
Yeah.
the school and stuff like that, it just gave me that hunger and gave me that drive. And then, I mean, I was born in South Amani and stuff like that. My parents, I wouldn't say that we were like super, super poor, but
Mhm.
we weren't rich or
Yeah.
anything like that, man. And my parents were struggling as well financially. You know how everybody is growing up and stuff like that. And when I was 16 years old, I was like, man, I want to go to Mexico. I was like, because I was already beating everybody. I was already like a 6-time national champion and stuff like that.
Oh, shit.
So when I was 16 years old, I was like, Dad, like, let's go to Mexico, man. Like, let me start making some money for the family, because I have 3 older sisters. I have 3 older sisters, and I'm the youngest child, and I'm the only boy.
Yeah.
So like, my dad, he was a truck driver. And he used to work countless hours, and then right after work, he used to work like 12, 13 hours, come back home, and then like really, my dad was a really good dad, man. He used to like, you really take care of me, go to the gym with me, support me, and did whatever I had to do as far as raising me and making sure that I still had a good childhood. So I wanted to give that in return. I wanted to make money for him and make money for my family, so that way we won't be stressing. And I know that in Mexico, man, you could turn pro when you're 16 years old,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, you're not gonna be making that much,
Yeah.
man, but at least it's something. So I was like, yo, let's do it, man. Let's do it. My dad was like, man, I don't think so, son. I don't think so. I'm scared. He's like, you're gonna be fighting guys that are like 32 years
grown
old.
man.
Yeah, like grown man that have that
Yeah.
strength. He was like, let's wait until you're 17. He was like, tell you what, after once you turn 17, you get to enter the men's division. So the men's division is from at that time it was from 17 to 34-year-olds. So he was like, and this was amateurs. He was like, let's see, there's a tournament coming up when you're 17. It's called the U.S. Men's, and he was like, if you compete there, and if I see that you do good, and if I see that you don't get hurt and that you're able to stand your ground and stuff like that, then we'll go to Mexico and you could turn pro and stuff like that. I was like, I bet. Yeah, sounds good.
Dude.
So I started training for that stuff, man. I started training, and then yeah, man, I ended up it was the U.S. Men's Nationals, or well, not Nationals. It was just called the U.S. Men's Tournament, boxing tournament. And in order to go to the Nationals, you had to compete at the districts. Then you had to win the districts. You go to the state, then you go to the regionals, and then the regionals, you go to the nationals. So I competed, man. I ended up winning the districts, fought about 4 fighters, guys that were, 32, 26, 24, just beating all of them up. Went to the state, beat everybody at the state, went to the regionals, beat everybody at the regionals. And then I went to the nationals, man. And I ended up winning everything on the nationals, man. I fought a guy that was from the Army. He was 26 years old. At that time when I went to the nationals, there was guys that were already, national champions and stuff like that. There was one guy in particular that it was one of my friends now. His name's Warren. He's a 3-time Olympic not a medalist or anything like that, but a 3-time Olympian.
Yeah,
And at the time, man, he was already an Olympian, and he was coming back defending this title and stuff. So when I seen him, I was like, damn, like everybody was like respecting him. Like he was like the freaking
Man.
yeah, he was a man. Like he was like the famous fucking boxer there.
Yeah.
And when I walked into the nationals, because it was in Colorado at the Olympic Training Center. So when I walked in there, man, like nobody knew who I was or anything, because I was 17 years old. I was a young kid from South Almani, just barely winning the district, states, and the regionals. So nobody knew who I was. And my first fight was against this guy. He was an Army guy.
Oh.
He was 26 years old, and I guess he competed a couple of times already in the nationals and stuff like that. So people thought that he was gonna walk all over me. I went in there, man. I beat the shit out of him, dude. Stopped him in the second round. That's when like all the eyeballs started turning on me. Like, damn, who is this kid?
guy?
Yeah. And then I ended up competing again. Won another fight. Competed again. Won another fight, and then made it to the finals. And then I ended up winning the finals, dude. And then at 17 years old, I was a national champion,
dang.
and I was still in school and everything too. So I ended up coming back. I missed school for a couple weeks. Came back. I was telling my teachers and stuff. They're like, "Yeah, man, I did it." Everybody, they came congratulating me and stuff like that. And then I told my dad, I was like, "Yo, let's go turn pro."
Yeah.
But fortunately, man, at that time, since I was ranked number 1 in the nation, USA Boxing, they were giving people monthly stipends. But I didn't know that at the time, man. I didn't know that at the time until they ended up saying like, "Hey, give us your bank number, give us your bank information. We're gonna send you money." They're giving me $5,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 17 years old. I was like, damn. I was like, what? So that $5,000, man. Yeah, so that $5,000, like here. I was like, here, Dad, man. Like, let me help out for the family and stuff like that. So I was able to help out. And then I would go to Colorado Springs, have my training camps there and stuff like that. And that's when I stuck to the amateurs and really competed amateurly, fighting, nationally, and then fighting internationally, getting the, experience fighting international styles and stuff like that, fighting guys from everywhere, man, like Nicaragua, Puerto Rico, Russia, Germany. I had all that experience, man, and then ended up, making it to the Olympics, dude.
Hey, so had you gone to Mexico to go fight pro, you couldn't have been in the Olympics?
Nah,
right?
If
you turn pro,
once you turn pro, you can't go back.
Dang, so good.
So it was a really good thing, man. It was a blessing in disguise. I never thought I was gonna be an Olympian, dude.
Yeah.
Like my main focus was just, trying to provide for the family, trying to help my dad and try to help my sisters and stuff like that, and just make sure that I was able to get some income for the family. And thankfully, man, that with the hard work and with the discipline and with the focus and, just the God-gifted talent, man. I was just very blessed with the talent that I got, man. So everything just worked out perfectly.
Who's the toughest sister that you got, man? I know usually like if there's a younger boy, the sister usually picks on or the sisters in your sense. Picks on the boy, right?
The middle sister, Stephanie. Yeah. She's a little bigger than me, man. She sometimes picks me up, beats me up. Yeah.
That's usually how it goes, man. I had an older sister until you actually gain like that kind of like that man strength. But I used to get the shit beat out of my older sister.
My sister Lorraine, she's 2 years older than me. We share the same birthday. She actually just had a kid today. She's
congrats.
His name Noah.
Congrats,
and she used to like box and she used to beat me up too. And then like one time I was like, man, put on the fucking glove. I hit her one time with the body, boom. That was it. I got my respect. I was like, after all those years you bullied me, finally got you.
Yeah, that's what's crazy too about the conditioning of a boxer, man. Like, if I were to throw on gloves right now, dude, my fat ass, dude, like it's just
dude,
like maybe like 5 minutes at max, dude. Like people don't understand like the conditioning that you guys have to go 12 rounds. It is crazy, bro.
It really is, because just the intensity and like when you're fighting, like you start getting locked in and your body and your muscles are all tense and stuff like that. So like you're just overexerting your muscles. You're overexerting your body. Your oxygen is a little tight, so it's not flowing as good. So that's why people get really, really fatigued and tired. And if you're not running, if you're out of shape, it's even more of a downfall as well. So that's why like a lot of people, for myself as well, I try to stay as calm as possible when I'm fighting, because the more calm that I am, the more energy I'm conserving.
Yeah.
Hey, how different is as far as having to put a game plan together? Is it fighting in like amateur style or like Olympic style boxing compared to like professional? It's a lot different, right?
Yeah, well, nowadays, man, back then when I was coming up as a professional fighter, because my first like 3 or 4 fights, I was fighting a lot like amateur, because in the amateurs back in the day, it was with headgear and it was just point systems. So like you fought a little more on the outside, just check hooks, little pitter patters and stuff like that, just to rack up points.
Just to score points.
And then once you have the points, like once you're up on the points,
Then
you just run and do whatever you want and you win the fight. But with the pros, man, you really had to, it was smaller gloves, without headgear, without a shirt and stuff like that. And, you know, you got the Vaseline on, punches slipping and stuff. And, you really have to sit down on your punches, because you want to rattle the brain and you want to make sure that you're dazing the guys, because once you rattle the brain, then that's when you could actually, you know, set up your shots and deliver good shots and stuff like that. So the transitioning was good because for myself, because I ended up signing with Oscar De La Hoya Golden Boy Promotions, and with my deal, they ended up getting me 8 fights my first year. And within those 8 fights, man, I was fighting guys that had a lot of experience. So I was fighting guys that my first fight, I fought a guy that had already 10 professional fights, and it was my first fight. So I was already getting that experience as what the veterans and like what my opponents had. They already had that knowledge inside the professional ring. So I was able to bring my amateur style inside the ring, but I was still filling out and stuff like that. And with my talent, I was able to adjust. And then after I would say my 13th or 14th fight, that's when I really started, you know, sitting down and really started, you know, landing some good solid shots as a professional fighter.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So as of recently, right, of course, with the Ryan Garcia fight, the big thing was the hydration clause, right, that they had it in there. Yeah. Has that always been like a part? Have you seen it before in your career before this, or is this something just highlighted because it was this particular fight? I had never heard of it before prior to this, but is it something that you've had like in your fights like prior to?
Yeah. My last 2 fights, and actually the title fight that I ended up winning against Tevin Farmer in Miami, his name's it was for the 130-pound title. The IBF world title, and the IBF sanctioning body only allows you to they have that rehydration clause. So you're only able to gain 10 pounds of weight prior to what you weigh in. So when I weighed in at 130 pounds, I couldn't weigh in more than 140 the day of the fight. So the rehydration clause has already been there, and it's been effective. Even with my last 2 fights, I had, because I didn't make my weight, I had rehydration clause with the opponents wanted me to have a rehydration clause. So I really couldn't, you know, fully hydrate to my full potential.
Would you be opposed to like, because I hear like it comes up in times as far as like cutting out of the sport weight cutting? And fighting like at your natural weight?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that. But I mean, for myself, like right now, I'm weighing about 153 pounds. Right. If I'm fighting a guy that 150 pounds, I'm fighting a guy that is like 6 foot right now. 6 foot right now.
That's where
6 foot. And the guys at 153 pounds, they're dropping all the way to 153 pounds. But when they hydrate up, they're about like 175. And then when they're not fighting, they're about like 190. Dang. So it's like, it's a crazy size difference. So that's why I think it is good that the boxing and the sport of boxing has these weight classes, because you're able to, you know, stay safe. Boxing is a really dangerous sport. You're constantly getting hit. You're getting that trauma. I don't get hit that much. I don't get like hit flush. I don't get like knocked out or anything like that. So I think that is probably a plus, but CTE and depression is real, man, especially if you're constantly getting that trauma and constantly getting hit like that, man. And if you don't have a good defense and if you're not really taking care of your health, it could just, that's how people die, man. That's how people die.
Hey, brother, what's that recovery like, man? Because people don't see that, right? People see you in the ring winning that fight or losing that fight, but they don't see the recovery from that beat up in that ring. Yeah. Is that a rough recovery like that next week or so?
Yeah, it really is. And then also to before we talk about that, I want to talk about the rehydration clause too, because some fighters they don't know how to rehydrate after the weigh-ins. These fighters, they think sometimes people think that just drinking water is a good hydration. It's something that you can hydrate up by just drinking water and it's going to hydrate it up with you. No, you need sodium. You need calories, you need electrolytes, you need potassium, you need all that stuff. So a lot of people end up tending to get concussions and end up tending to die because they don't know how to really get the liquids back in their
Gotcha.
brain.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when they're fighting and when they're getting that constant hit and that constant trauma, they have no liquid in the brain, so the brain ends up swelling up, and that's how people get concussions, and that's how people end up dying. So the rehydration, I would feel like needs to be more uh, uh, applied. I feel like people need to present it more and show how to
Yeah.
really rehydrate for a fight, because I feel like it could save a lot
Like
of
medically
lives.
advised. Huh?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Should be like a lot more training on actually
Getting
Yeah.
the
your
right way
fighters
to do it, right?
rehydrated.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Because I think that would help cause like a lot of less deaths.
I
And
feel, I
less
feel like there's
injuries
been a
and
lot
stuff.
more in the news lately, like more than I ever. I don't know if it's because like the internet now, but I don't remember seeing like that many people dying after a fight,
Yeah.
like a boxing match. Dude. It's like,
Yeah, man, it's
shoot,
crazy, man.
yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, what you were saying about after the fight, like people don't see the actual training, dude.
Yeah.
All the hard work that you're putting in, all the sacrifice that you're putting in, the days, the countless hours. I train 3 times a day. I don't get to see my son sometimes.
Dang.
There's a lot of commitment that people don't see. People just see the actual, fight and the actual event. But even after the fight, man, I remember one time I got a big old cut. I had a big old gash. I had to get 10, 12 stitches, man. And just just the recovery is like really, really bad, dude. I It ends up taking me about, like, I would say maybe 2 weeks to actually fully recoup, make my body feel really good after.
Yeah, your body has to like hurt, huh? Like
Yeah,
just do
from
like
all the
a
body
front
shots,
Yeah.
just like the rugged punching, bumping heads because you're fighting without
Oh
headgear
yeah.
too. So if the guy wants to come in and you're coming in as well, you're just bumping heads. You're fighting on the inside. It's a
It's
very
fucking
rugged sport,
barbaric
dude.
sport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
barbaric. Yeah, that's right.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's what I always feel for the athlete, man. At the end of it, and it's. I mean, it's a cool thing that like you're working so hard to get there. Once you get there, but it's kind of sucks in the way that like you, for instance, right? You have like 1, 2 fights down, and
Mm.
automatically you fall like tremendously, right? In people's eyes, right? They're like, oh, he's done,
Oh
or he's
yeah,
not a
like,
contender, right?
man, like
Yeah.
literally, I've I went to the Olympics. I won a world title. And then I mean, I lost. I'm 30 years old. I still feel like I'm young, and
Yeah.
I'm able to compete at the highest of highs. But since I have 3 back-to-back losses, people just count me out. But with those 3 losses, man, people don't realize that I fought the best of the best. Dude.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like I fought any
You
scrubs
weren't picking and
and like
choosing.
losing. I'm not
Yeah.
picking
Yeah.
and choosing, man. I'm
Yeah.
fighting, top tier guys in the division,
Mhm.
guys in the top 10. The guys that I've lost to were all in the top 10, are in the top 10 now. So it's not like I'm just, fighting scrubs or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm really challenging myself and really competing at the highest of highs. But it's very unfortunate because boxing is a cruise business. So when you do lose, the promotional companies are just like the management and stuff like that. They see that you lose, so they try to take advantage as well. They
Yeah.
see that you lose, so they try to like discredit your value.
Yeah, the
So
low ball.
Yeah,
yeah, try
I
to
feel
lowball
like,
you and stuff like that because
yeah.
obviously it's a business for them.
Yeah.
They don't see it. They don't see like your daily life. They don't see what you're actually going through, all the hard work, all like the trials and tribulations that you go through and stuff like that. They just see you as as a dollar sign, basically. That's
Yeah.
what it is. So you really got to, as a fighter, man, you really got to make sure that your finances are right. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your finances, because anything could happen, man. Your career could go out like that. And you just got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself because nobody else really cares, man. You could be at the top one day. If you have a couple losses, they, might just forget about you. So it's a very tough sport.
I feel like Mayweather having like that undefeated, kind of
Hurt the sport.
ruined the
Yeah,
sport a little bit, dude. Because now
Yeah.
it made like top fighters afraid to fight top fighters and losing that undefeated record. And like, I
Yeah.
feel like we missed out on a lot of good fights when they should have happened.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. And then like everybody wants to kind of stretch their fighter to make the maximum money. And then at the very end,
yeah.
all right, now let's
Now let's
cash
start
into the
challenging
big
our-
fights, right?
Now-
Yeah,
yeah.
So you
that's how
wanna-
it is.
you
Now
wanna
let's step up.
Well, how do you feel about I have my perspective on it as a fan, but you as a fighter, how do you feel about having so many belts?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's pretty cool for the sport. I mean, because like I said, boxing is a tough sport. So if a fighter does have a bout, that's when they are able to cash out. That's when a fighter is able to actually really propel their career and propel their life and their lifestyle and make the most money that they could possibly make. So if the organization, if there's only one title, then that means only one fighter gets to make all the money and stuff like that.
I never looked at it like that.
Yeah, it's very, a lot of people just want to have one title and stuff like that just for one certain weight class. But I think it's beneficial for us fighters to have multiple titles. So that way multiple professional fighters could cash in. Yeah. Could make some good money.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got to look at it. That's what I'm saying. Like as a fan, right? You're like, oh, this should be one belt. But then you got to see it from the athlete's perspective, like what they're getting paid based on, right?
The athlete perspective, and also the sanctioning bodies. The IBF, the WBC, those guys are cashing out too, man.
Oh,
Because they're getting those. They every time, like when I had my IBF world title, every time I defended it or if I won it, I had to pay a sanctioning fee to fight for that title.
Shoot.
So those sanctioning bodies are grabbing some money as well. So they're making money as well. So everybody's making money. You get me?
Yeah.
How many different titles are there?
There's the IBF, the WBC, WBO, WBA, and then I think I'm missing one more.
Yeah.
I think I'm missing one more, but there's several. I think there's 5 of them, 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you think it's nowadays it's the goal is still the title, or you could still put on great fights without the title, and you shouldn't necessarily chase the title? If it's there, but you could still make some great fights and get paid good money?
Yeah, well, for I still believe that nowadays, for myself, man, just for my legacy and stuff like that, I want to get a title. But I think as well, you need to get a title because promotional companies, like I said, they're businesses. So they want you to have a title in order for you to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you don't have a title, if you have a contract and stuff like that, on those contracts, you're guaranteed minimums. And if you don't have like a title or anything like that, you're getting paid those minimums or that's it. You know what I mean? You're getting paid that flat rate.
You can't have like no leverage to negotiate.
Yeah, you have no leverage or anything to negotiate. So once you get the title, you can hold on to the title, wait until your contract's up, and then once the contract's up, that's when you could really, grab the money.
Yeah. How with Golden Boy, how hands-on is Oscar with you guys? Is he pretty hands-on? Do you guys like deal with him, or you guys don't really deal?
Was there like a big business change when like Richard Schaefer left Golden Boy to the way Oscar's running it?
I wouldn't say that a big different change. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya, I see him at the fights and stuff like that. He's mostly
the face, right?
Yeah, he's mostly the face, but he has a great team behind him, man. He has one of his best friends, Eric Gomez, the president of Golden Boy Boxing, that is running the show. So I'm pretty sure they're like really, really close. So whatever they talk about, they trust each other. So he also has a guy named Robert as well that is a good accountant that he's been with him since day one as well. So they have Oscar De La Hoya is a face, but he's a businessman as well, and he's done everything right to the point where he's hired the right people to protect him because he is the face of the promotion, the company, the promotional company, but he's earned that, man. He had a great career and stuff like that, and he's put his investment in. He made his money. He did everything right, so he deserves to be the face like that.
Is that who you looked up to when you were 11 years old fighting?
Oh yeah, man, for sure. Especially when I made it to the Olympics, I was like, man, I want to be like Oscar De La Hoya. And then when I competed in the Olympics, dude, I had like Kevin Durant hit me up. I had Carmelo Anthony. I had a couple of all these guys. I met Kobe Bryant.
Oh yeah, they were all there.
They're all there, dude. So I was all like taking pictures with them and stuff like that. I had a couple of volleyball players watch me fight and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool, man. So and then after I ended up winning my fight against some guy from Germany. That was my first fight in the Olympics. I ended up winning him. Everybody thought I was gonna fucking lose because this guy, I guess he was a 2-time Olympian already, and I ended up beating the brakes off him. And then that's when like really people were talking about me because obviously I'm Mexican American and Oscar De La Hoya scene and stuff like that. So then he started commenting on me and stuff like that. And then my next fight was against a Cuban. So then everybody was all like, "Oh, come on, JoJo, you could beat this Cuban," and stuff like that. I thought I won, man. It was a really close fight. I thought I ended up winning, but then he ended up beating me, and then I ended up losing, man. I was really, really sad because I did everything to the T, dude. I didn't have not one sugar drink. I didn't have not one anything, man. For about like 4 months, I really dieted. I was really in shape, man. So I was praying to God and stuff like that. And then when I ended up losing, I was like, man, like, dude, all that fucking hard work, dude, that I put in and stuff like that. And I couldn't bring that gold medal home to, like, obviously my country, to my family and stuff. Because if I would have had that gold medal, man, I would have changed my life. It would have been a life changing. But I mean, God opens a lot of doors and God works in mysterious ways. I was fortunate enough that Oscar De La Hoya ended up catching the eye. I had a couple other guys at the time, you know, hit me up as well. But Oscar De La Hoya, dude, I can't go wrong with Oscar De La Hoya, man. And at the time, he had like the great promotional company too. So I ended up meeting with him. We took pictures and stuff like that. And then man, I ended up signing with him and I've been with him ever since. Been with him ever since, man. It's been 11 years since I've been a pro fighter now, and 11 years with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions.
Are you guys gonna try to extend that one, or are you just shopping around?
Right now we're in talks. Right now, my contract ended up expiring my last fight. So right now we're in talks. Like I said, boxing's a crew sport and stuff like that. So I'm
business,
still,
right?
I'm still trying to get what I feel like my value is, and they're trying to get their value and what they see and stuff like that, because it's a business. So it's going up and down, but at the end of the day, I think we have a really good relationship because we've been partners for a long time already. So I think we're both gonna come into an agreement, and I think I'm gonna end my career with him.
Awesome. Nice. Yeah. Hey, I see that you actually fought Oscar Valdez too, right?
Yeah, in the amateurs, but it was for that was a crazy fight because I fought him at the Worlds tournament. So that fight, well, that tournament was actually to make it to the Olympics. So I ended up competing two fights, and it was in Baku, Azerbaijan. Do you guys know where that's at?
No.
It's like fucking in Russia, dude. That shit was scary as shit, man. Dang. Literally, when I was walking down the street, like trying to go to the grocery store, seeing dead like pigs' heads chopped off in the middle of the street. Shoot. It was like a third world country, man. Dang. It was like fucking scary. Yeah, like really traumatizing, dude. But overall, I ended up competing there, man. I won 3 fights, and then the next fight was to qualify for the Olympics, and that fight was against Oscar Valdez. Dang. And man, like I knew that he was already a really good fighter. Everybody already was talking about him, and people were talking about me as well. So we ended up competing, dude, and it was a good fight, man. We were duking it out. I ended up coming victorious, and then that's when I ended up getting qualified for the Olympics.
Oh damn, that's crazy, dude. Yeah. It's probably crazy to you guys too, huh? Like seeing each other in the amateurs, and then like knowing that you have so many fights in amateurs, right? And people are barely trying, like starting to see these fighters, right? Really trying to make it big.
Yeah,
starting barely to make it big.
Yeah, because the amateurs is just basically, I see it as getting the experience, but getting that exposure for the promotional companies and stuff.
Yeah.
You for the amateurs nowadays, it's completely different because of social media. So you could gain a following, and you could gain fans, and gain the public eye and the promotional eye by just social media now, by just posting, and they can see your talents, and by like showing shadow boxing. Obviously, you don't want to be like a Ryan Garcia, just like shadow boxing and stuff like that. That's none of that. You should show your sparring videos and stuff like that, so people actually see your talents inside that ring. But it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier now to get recognized and get exposure. But back then, man, it wasn't like that, dude. You really had to, gain your respect in the amateurs, and then make it all the way to the amateurs, make it to the nationals and stuff like that. And then after that, that's when you turn pro, and then the promoters will see you, they'll sign you and they'll see that you had a good amateur background, a good resume. Then they'll sign you to a good deal, and then that's when you actually build your audience as a pro fighder.
You can tell because like the Lomachenkos, the Canelos, like how many amateur fights they had, bro. It's like nuts. Like they have like tons and tons of amateur fights. And like you said, nowadays you have boxers that are coming in and they have like 15 fights under their belt. You're like, what the hell, dude? Like, look at that.
What about a dude like Chavez, dude, who ended his professional career with like over 100 fights, right?
Dude, he had over like 100 something fights. But he was fighting in Mexico, dude. So he was just fighting like taxi drivers knocking him out and stuff like that.
Hey, you almost ran it with Ryan Garcia. You think you ever make that matchup again?
I'm hoping, man. I mean, if me and Golden Boy Promotions end up signing this deal, it's gonna be a 4-fight deal. Okay. And I think the first 2 fights I'll get some dubs, and then my 3rd fight or 4th fight, hopefully get a Ryan Garcia fight, man. I feel like we have a lot of I wouldn't say animosity, man, because dude, when Ryan Garcia first turned pro, like I don't have animosity towards Ryan Garcia. I feel like just us fighters want to fight each other because we just want to fight each other.
Right?
Yeah, I'm just competitive, dude, and I just want to fight him. And when he, like before he turned pro, man, I took him and his family to Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, not to Chuck E. Cheese, to Shakey's. To Shakey's, Chuck E. Cheese. Like he was a little kid. Nah, I took him to Shakey's. I took him to Shakey's and stuff like that, and like. He used to like talk to me. He used to see me and stuff like that because at the time that's when he was barely up and coming. And I already had like 18, 19 professional fights and stuff. So I was already talking to him and stuff. And then he was like, man, like keep it up and stuff like that. And then he started, you know, doing his Instagram and really marketing himself. And then that's when he just really, really propelled, dude. So, and then it came to a point where, I ended up not making weight. I ended up winning my world title at 130 pounds. COVID ended up happening. So everything was shut down. And then my baby mama, my girlfriend at the time, ended up being pregnant too, dude. So during that whole time, during the COVID, dude, my girlfriend at the time was pregnant. So she was eating everything. I was eating everything too. And then like I took a whole year off because everything was all shut down. So I just gained a lot of fucking weight, man. I got super fat. I was fighting at 130 pounds. I ended up weighing in at 100. While I was 130 pounds, I ended up blowing up to 186 pounds.
Oh damn!
Because I took a whole year off. I won the title. I was freaking living life, dude. I was like, yeah, the champion, eating steak dinners, freaking partying, having fun, living it up, dude. Living the champ life. You know what I mean? But then COVID fucking happened. And then everything, like I couldn't work out or anything like that. I couldn't even go to LA Fitness because they wouldn't allow that. Closed, everything was all shut down. So my ass just got fucking fat. And we were just, I was just like super fat. And then they ended up calling me, Golden Boy Promotions and stuff. They ended up calling me once things started getting cleared up a year after. And they were like, hey, we finally got you a fight. You're able to fight and stuff like that. You can defend your title. The fight's going to be in 7 weeks. Can you fight?
Oh, shit.
And I was like, yeah. My ego and just me being a fighter, I was like, who is this guy? He was like, it's a Russian guy. He's 20-0, 18 KOs. He's ranked number 2 in the world and stuff like that. Will you be ready to fight in 7 weeks? I was like, hell yeah, I'll be ready. So I was like, all right, let's do it. They're like, okay. And so I sent they sent the contract. I signed it. Ended up checking my weight, dude. I was 186 pounds. Damn. I had to lose 56 pounds.
Holy
in 7 weeks,
dude.
In 7 weeks. Crazy. So then I was training and stuff like that. I started fucking just running my fat ass and shit. I was getting ready and stuff. And then 2 weeks into the camp, they ended up calling me, Golden Boy Promotions and stuff like that. They were like, hey, change of date. It's going to be a week earlier. So instead of 7 weeks, I had 6 weeks. I had a 6-week training camp. And they're like, can you do it? I was like, yeah, man, I'll do it, man. I'll make it. So I ended up training, dude. Busting my ass, man, sweating every day, training 3 times a day with the sauna bag. At this point, dude, I was training just to lose fucking weight. I wasn't even training to strategize for the fight or anything like that. So I was just training just to
Your whole camp was just
just to lose the weight, dude. So I was fucking jump roping 30 minutes with the sauna bag, shadow boxing 30 minutes, hitting bags 30 minutes, sparring sometimes here and there and stuff like that, but just trying to focus on the weight. Ended up it was fight week, and I was about 142 fight week on Monday of fight week, and they're like, me and my team were like, all right, we could do it. Got down all the way to 136, and this was on Wednesday. Got down to 136, and then on Thursday was the last day before weigh-ins. And but before that, on Monday when I checked in for fight week, I checked in. And usually for fight week and stuff like that, like I'm able to hit the sauna and shit. Like I'm able to hit the sauna and stuff like that for I can make the weight. And since COVID was still half on, none of the saunas or anything was open. None of the gyms were open or anything. Damn. So I had to lose weight in my room.
On the bathroom?
No, literally in my hotel room, like in here.
Oh, okay.
So I was the heater up?
Turn the heater up. We turn the heater up for like 80 degrees, and I'll jump rope for an hour. Do jump rope for an hour. But at this point, man, I already dropped like 40. I already dropped like 20 something pounds or something like that. So, I was down to 136 on Thursday. And then the 130 on Thursday, man, I was like really like I was like fucking sucked up, dude. Like I was to the point like where I was like half dead, and I was trying to make the weight again. We got into the room. I was 136, and I was like, all right, let's do it, man. Let's try to make it. So then I was jump roping, doom, jump roping, and then I got down to like 134, the 134, and I was like, all right, man, I'm 4 more pounds, guys, and then.
That's crazy.
I was jumping with some more, and then I end up fucking collapsing. Boom, like that, collapsing.
Oh, dang.
My team, my dad, and everything like that. They end up running, getting some ice packs and stuff, putting ice packs on me and everything. My one of my strength coach, his name's Daryl Hudson. He had a B12 shot stuck into my ass, and then like I ended up like waking up a little bit just to give me some energy. And then I was just up and stuff, and I was like, oh, like they're like, are you good? Are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And they're like, "Oh, do you still want to try to make the weight?" I was like, "Yeah, let's try." And after they're like, "Okay, we're gonna try to put you in the tub." So they ended up filling the tub. They, in order to make weight in the tub, you have to put the tub on like super hot, boiling hot water,
Oh.
and then you put Epsom salt in the tub.
Uh-huh.
And then you go in there, and then you sweat, and you just like deplete yourself. You dehydrate yourself. So I end up going in the tub, and then I'm in there, dude. And then I'm just like freaking, I'm practically dead, dude. I'm just like that, like it's done. I was in there for about like 25 minutes. I ended up getting out, and I was 133.8. I only lost 0.2 ounces,
Oh,
dude.
dang.
For 30 minutes, I was in the fucking
That's
boiling hot water, dude.
crazy.
I only lost 0.2 ounces, and at that point, I was like, man, I'm not gonna,
Yeah,
I'm not. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to make the weight, man. And I ended up, I was supposed to be 130. I was at 186, so I dropped 53 pounds.
That's
53
crazy.
pounds in 6 weeks.
That's nuts, bro.
I ended up going to the weigh-ins. I ended up calling everybody. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna make the weight. The Russian people, they're being fucking assholes, dude. They're like, all right, well, we're just gonna cancel the fight and stuff. If unless you give me
your purse on
like $300,000. I had to give $300,000 of my purse. Dude.
No way.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
That's
In order for me to fight, they were
Yeah.
like, yo, like because I was already like practically dead and dehydrated and stuff like that. My dad didn't want me to fight, and everybody didn't want me to fight. And they were like, yo, like they said that they'll fight you, but you have to pay 300,000 and stuff. And I was like, man, like just me, like I'm just a fighter, man. I'm like, man, fuck it, like let me just beat this guy's ass.
Yeah.
Like this, I'll still fight him and stuff. My dad was like, no, Joseph, like this guy's dangerous and stuff, and you're dehydrated, you lost a lot of weight and stuff like that. Your body's not gonna be at its best or anything like that. And I was like, nah, Dad, like I need to do it. I didn't make weight. I still gotta show everybody in the world what I'm capable of doing. I gotta do that for my fans and stuff. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna risk it on in the ring, man. I'm a fighter. If something happens, I mean that's the way I go out. Then I guess it is what it is. So I ended up giving him 300,000. Ended up fighting, man. And man, I thought I beat him. Man. It ended up being a draw. But if you guys look back at it, if you guys go watch the tape,
Yeah, I watched that one.
it's
Dude.
Joseph Diaz versus Rakhimov. His name is Rakhimov. I thought I won the fight, man. I thought I was dazing him, landing the cleaner shots. But I think since I didn't make weight and stuff, I think it was kind of
one side they already had that.
The judges kind of like
I think the kind of judges,
right?
the commission and stuff like
Yeah.
that, they seen that I didn't make weight. They probably thought that I wasn't dedicated or I wasn't committed
Yeah.
and stuff. But people didn't really know my story, man.
Yeah.
People didn't know that my girlfriend was pregnant at the time. Fucking COVID happened, 7-week notice and stuff like that. Nobody knew any of that, man.
And if you miss weight, right, you lose the title automatically
yeah. So I
Right.
lost the title
on the scale.
Yeah, so I
right?
ended up losing the title on the scale, dude.
That
Yeah,
sucks,
That's
dude.
bullshit, dude. I don't like. I can see if like you do it like continuously and you just have a problem, but
Yeah.
like, or they should be like, hey, at the end, like you gotta add something to it, or even like a suspension or something like that. But they shouldn't take the belt from you. It has nothing to do with your actual talent, right? You're still the best fighter. You still won it legitimately, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I ended up making the title, dude. And at that point in my life and in my career, I was like, fuck, man. I was like really depressed, dude.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
dude, I fucking worked my ass off. I worked my whole entire life to make it to the Olympics, obviously, but to actually become a world champion.
Mhm.
And I feel like since I won that title and everything, the COVID happened and everything, man, I couldn't make the weight. I just felt like I was in a really like bad mental state of mind, dude. I was like, man, like I really dropped the ball, dude. Like
Damn.
I fucking let myself down. I left my family down. I left my team down. I didn't know what to do at the time, dude. I was drinking a lot. I started going out, started doing a lot of drugs and shit, dude, because I was like really depressed, man. I was just sad. I was sad because I worked my whole entire life to get to that point, and I lost it. You get me? So it was just unfortunate, man. And then I ended up just started praying to God and stuff like that. I was like, man, Lord, like, just, give me a sign, give me something that I could do and stuff like that. And at the time, that's when my kid was born too. And me and my baby mama ended up splitting. So I was dealing, with child custody and stuff like that. So I was in a rough spot in my life. And then I ended up, praying. And then Ryan Garcia was supposed to fight some guy named Javier Fortuna at 135 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
He was supposed to fight him at the time. But then I guess he ended up pulling out because of mental illness or mental health or something like that. He ended up pulling out of the fight. And they still needed that fight. They still had that fight date. So when I seen that, I was already training and stuff like that too. So when I seen that, I called fucking Golden Boy and I called Robert Diaz. I was like, yo, give me Javier Fortuna. Yeah. I'll fight Javier Fortuna. Give me that fight. I need that fight. He's like, what? He's like, you're going to be moving up in weight class. Javier Fortuna. At that time, Javier Fortuna was considered like the boogeyman. Devin Haney turned him down. Ryan Garcia said the mental health. A lot of people were turning him down and stuff like that. But I knew that this was like my only shot. I felt like this was the sign from God to actually, really get my career back and get my life going again. Yeah. So I seen that opportunity and I just took it, man. So I called them. I was like, yo, give me that fight. They're like, are you sure you're going to move up in weight? You never fought at this weight. This guy has been fighting at this weight for a long time. I'm like, man, just give me in the ring with him and I'll beat him. So then sure enough, man, ended up accepting the fight. Javier Fortuna accepted the fight. Trained my ass off, dude, and beat the shit out of him, man. Nice. Beat the shit out of him, dude. I ended up winning. I felt like I was back at the top, man. I competed at 135 pounds. And then that's when me and Ryan Garcia were supposed to fight. But then we had a couple of things. We had a couple of issues. And then Ryan Garcia ended up pulling out. And then that's when Devin Haney was like, yo, like, since Ryan Garcia and you and Ryan are not fighting, why don't you fight me for the world title? And man, I'm not gonna miss that opportunity, dude.
Badass,
I was like, man, let's fucking do it. Especially because it was in Vegas, dude. Like it was like a dream come true, man. Ever since I was a little kid, I used to see Oscar De La Hoya. I used to see Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, all these guys fighting in Vegas, dude, at the MGM and stuff like that. So when they said that I was gonna fight at MGM in Las Vegas, dude, for the world title, man, it was a dream come true, dude. I couldn't turn it down.
How's the difference, dude? Like from the fights that you had? Obviously, that was the biggest platform, right? Yeah. Like as far as like the service, like the way that you're treated and everything, how different is it from that scale to like where you were before?
Oh, it was crazy scale, dude. Like I mean, obviously Golden Boy, they take care of us and stuff like that. They give us comp rooms and stuff like that. But when you're up and coming, man, you get a little tiny room, shit like that. You know what I mean? Like you're still coming up, man. You're still coming up, and it all has to be in a budget. You get me? So like they're doing it in their budget. So when I went there, man, I had my own suite. I was getting catered, dude. I was living the life. I was like, hell yeah, man. I had posters in Las Vegas of, me and Devin Haney and stuff like that, man. It was at that point, man, I was like, damn, dude, like all the hard work, everything that I've been through and stuff like that, it finally paid off.
How were your parents like seeing you like you plastered in Vegas? Dude? That like that has to be like some other different type of experience.
Right? Posters all over.
It was a dream come true, man, because I fought in Vegas my third pro fight. I fought in Vegas at my third pro fight at the Cosmopolitan. And it's a crazy story because Oscar De La Hoya, he was one of my favorite fighters, but Floyd Mayweather was one of my favorite fighters as well, man. I used to love watching Floyd, man. I used to love the way he dressed. I used to love what he came out with. He used to walk out with 50 Cent. He used to walk out with like hip hop, had a whole bunch of good entourage. He was like a good flamboyant type of guy. Yeah. So I used to like love watching him fight. And on my third pro fight, man, 50 Cent was there and I was getting ready and stuff like that. And then sure enough, dude, like I see somebody walking by and I was in the locker room training and stuff. And I see somebody walking by and I look and it was Floyd Mayweather, dude. Oh, yeah. And that was the first time I ever met him. That was the first time I ever met him. He was like, what's up, champ? He's like, good luck. I'm gonna be watching you and stuff like that. I was so starstruck, dude, because I only seen him on TV and stuff. So when I seen him in person, I was just like, I couldn't even say anything, man. He like, I had my gloves on already. He gave me knuckles and stuff. He's like, I'm gonna be watching, man. Do your thing. Oh, I was cool, like, damn, man. I was sick, man. So then I ended up going and I ended up knocking the guy out.
That's badass.
Yeah, but during that time in Vegas, I told my parents, I was like, man, because there was already signs, like posters up. I forgot who was fighting that weekend, but it was a big fight that weekend. I think it was Canelo. Yeah. And I was like, man, Mom, Dad, one day I'm gonna be on that billboard. One day I'm gonna be on that billboard. Dude. And then sure enough, dude, with the Devin Haney, I was on that billboard, man. So it was cool, just accomplishing that dream and letting my parents witness that as well.
Yeah. You're in an exciting class right now, right? You guys got like Devin Haney right there. Obviously Garcia Tank.
I think Garcia's gonna go up now, right? That's his thing. He's saying 140s now.
Yeah, I think that's the next move for him, man. I think he's gonna be moving because I think dropping down to 135 is really like hurting his body. So I think he would be a lot more beneficial at 140 pounds, but he got to really, take into consideration too that the guys at 140 ain't no fucking joke either, man. Those guys are a lot bigger. They hit a lot harder too. So he has to really, sit down and see and analyze what he really wants to do, or get a whole new team, get a whole new camp, because it's going to be completely different going at competing at 140 pounds.
Have you had the same team around you your whole career, or have you moved camps?
I've had my dad has always been in my corner. Okay. My dad has always been in my corner. I had a guy named Daryl Hudson. I brought in two new guys. One guy named Camacho, and another guy named Julian Chua, and they're both really good fighters. My dad used to be hands-on with me with the mitts and stuff like that. That's where we bought on Julian, because Julian is my dad's 56 years old. He's a little heavier and stuff, so he could only give me like 4 rounds on the mitts now, and he's already breathing heavy and stuff. So now he's just more of the eyes and sees what I need to do and sees my flaws and tries to just give me that knowledge of what he knows just to try to get me better. But I hired this guy Julian because he's more younger, he's more fit. He could give me more solid rounds on the mitts and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. But all right, so my question to you is, I have my opinion on it. So Ryan Garcia, as far as skill set goes, I'm saying he's like an average boxer. I don't put him like up there super high. Do you think he's as big as he is? I think a good chunk of it comes from him being a good-looking kid and tied into the YouTube era right now also. So if he's an ugly-ass kid, dude, do you think he's getting to where he is right now? Or do you think that plays a big factor into like the social media part of it nowadays? Like you were saying earlier, right? It's changed. It's not like 100% just based on your resume. It's based on like all the other things, how you promote yourself and so forth, right?
Yeah. And I honestly think that Ryan Garcia is a very talented fighter. I think he's young and very talented. I just think that he doesn't have that experience inside the ring, inside the professional ring, to actually compete at the highest levels right now. I think that he was able to, market himself, like you said, with the YouTube guys, with Instagram, the way he looks, the way he's able to present himself, the way he's able to get viewerships, the way he's able to get eyeballs on him, where he's able to create such a hype for any type of fight that he's in.
Yeah.
He could fight a taxi driver and freaking create so much hype. People are going to be watching him. He's going to be getting paid a lot of money, and he's going to knock the guy out, put on a highlight reel knockout. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's a win for him, because obviously financially he's really good. He's set. He's doing everything right financially. But as far as professionally and getting that ring experience and getting that actual knowledge to compete at the highest level, I don't think he's getting that right now. I think that with this fight with Gervonta Davis showed, I think that he bit a lot more than he was able to chew, because he didn't compete at the highest level prior to that. The highest level that he did compete at was a guy named Luke Campbell, and Luke Campbell dropped him already too, and Luke Campbell can't even hurt a fly. You get me? So it was just like I just feel like he has to gain more experience and gain more knowledge inside that ring. So I think he has to fight more tougher guys.
Yeah, and I think actually that Luke Campbell fight, man, I think if when he dropped him, I think if he pressures him more, I think that fight ends differently. Too.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
because you want to know
yeah.
you want to know what's crazy? When that's what I was telling my dad too, and because when I seen it happen, he caught him, and then when he was hurt, dude.
Yeah.
And then when he got up, fucking Luke
didn't
Campbell
wrestle
just
him.
like
Yeah.
started boxing again. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah.
go after for the kill.
should've
Like
went
the
for the
guy's all
kill.
discombobulated already.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
just land 2 shots and knock him out. Know what I mean?
Yeah, he wasn't back fully for a while,
he
man.
didn't
Yeah.
recoup. He didn't
Yeah.
recoup until later in that round, and then the next round, that's when he was fully recouped again.
Yeah.
So he really dropped the ball that one,
Yeah.
Luke Campbell. Man, he really should have just really applied a lot of pressure.
But with that being said, in an actual fight, you need your corner probably yelling at you sometimes, right? Sometimes you're kind of lost in a fight, right? You kind of, maybe your mind's gone. Maybe you've been rocked or two. Maybe you need your corner yelling at like pressure or something, right? Maybe you don't realize how bad you really hurt them or something, right?
Oh.
Or am I wrong? I don't know. I've never been in a ring.
No, it is too, because that's how I am as well inside the ring too. Like, I know that I can land a shot, but sometimes my mind plays a lot of tricks on me because when I'm inside the ring, I know that I can land a shot, but then I also know that they could throw a shot and they can land something on me as well. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, if I throw this shot, this part's open, or if I throw
yeah.
the shot, then I'm open on this side. And I'm thinking that these fucking guys are just as smart as me inside that ring. So sometimes I get a little hesitant to actually do it. You get me?
Yeah.
And I guess, you're
Yeah.
right. Like, we're seeing it from afar,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they're like in there, you're seeing it like kind of like tunnel
Yeah.
vision, right?
Yeah.
So you're seeing looking at it all technical,
Yeah.
and we're looking at like, oh shit,
Like
the guy's
maybe he didn't realize how
Yeah,
really
bad
bad
he
it really
was
was.
hurt.
Exactly,
Maybe,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
with Ryan now, I feel like he built such a good fan base, and he already has what, like 10 million followers
yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah, he's
So,
gonna have. Yeah.
Even if he loses again, he's still gonna have the following. He's still gonna have the people behind him. He's still gonna have
His
that.
next
So,
fight's still gonna be a big fight.
yeah, so I think that what he should do now in his career is fight the toughest fighters as he can possible to gain that experience inside that ring. Even if he loses, dude, it really
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You're gaining that knowledge and you're gaining that respect, and you're actually learning to be the best professionally, and to fight at the elite level. So I think if he goes that route, if he does lose a couple more times and stuff like that, it's okay, dude.
Yeah.
You already got a good following and stuff like that. Like, what else do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Like, you already been stopped, man. Like, you can't be hiding anymore. Like, if you get stopped again, it's all right. You already been stopped before. Like, just keep on learning, get better.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that fight, man. You and him. I think.
Yeah, I was excited when that thing got
I thought-
announced, dude. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was hoping I got that fight. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh man.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah,
I was
this will
pumped when they announced
be a
it.
good one.
What
So
do you think
hopefully we do
about,
get it, man.
Yeah, no, dude, I'll buy tickets to that one, dude. I'll be
For
there.
sure.
Yeah.
I'll be there, man. I'll definitely be there.
Hey, what do you think about what's that guy, Jake Paul, and what he's doing to boxing? You a fan of it? You don't like it?
You know what? At first, I didn't like it. At first, I just thought that these guys were just doing whatever they wanted to do and stuff like that. And obviously he is, dude. I mean, he has so much freaking money. He has a good following.
Yeah.
He has a good YouTube where he's able to just do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
But I could just see the progress that he's actually doing, how committed he is to the sport.
He's spending the money, dude.
Yeah,
That's
he's
how
spending the money,
Yeah.
and he's actually
Yeah.
putting the time in.
Yeah.
He's putting the time in, dude, and
Yeah.
you got to respect that
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, like if you're putting the time and if you're like doing what you got to do and stuff like that, you gotta respect it. Dude.
What's your
And that's
opinion
what
on
he's doing.
you guys are like most you boxers, started off early on, 11, 14, early on. You think, what was he when he started? I don't know, in his 20s?
Yeah.
You think it would be possible for him to start boxing in his 20s and become a world champion one day?
No,
No, right? He never get to that level, right?
Nah, absolutely
Yeah.
not.
So at the end of the day, he has to know he's in it just to cash out, just to make money.
That's the same
He's
thing.
not
Like
in it to
Floyd,
win a
Floyd
title.
was saying. I seen an interview with Floyd.
And
Floyd
not only
was-
that, but I think he likes fighting. I think
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah.
competitive guy, and I
Yeah.
think he likes to fight,
Yeah.
and I think he likes that toughness
Yeah.
because he's a tough guy, dude.
Yeah.
So I think it's just him, obviously making money because he's an entrepreneur and he's a businessman. But
Yeah.
I think he likes that competitiveness as well. He likes to fight. So
I think a lot of people wrote them off early on because they're like YouTubers, but they forget these guys like wrestled in high school. Like
They're
they were
athletic
competitors.
kids,
They're
dude.
really athletic, dude.
Yeah, they're not
They're
like
not little
just-
guys, dude.
Yeah,
They're
they're
some
not just
big
a
boys,
YouTuber
dude.
coming off the
Yeah.
couch or anything
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So
So
no.
hey, Jojo, let me. So obviously you had your highs, right? And I guess you've had your lows and everything like that. So I like to bring up even the negative, just to give people the platform to actually speak on it. And like I said, it's how in depth you want to go, but recently I seen that you were like on TMZ, you know, some stuff with your child. Is that all good? Is everything put back in order? Is it what they make it out to be, I guess?
Oh no, it's nothing what they make it out to be, man. Like I said, I just feel like a lot of people have a lot of animosity towards me. I don't know if it's because of our relationship that we had, the way like we parted ways and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, in a girl's perspective, I understand where they're coming from because they want to have a family and they, want, the husband to, really be, committed and loyal and stuff like that. And I'm gonna admit that I wasn't loyal, man. I made a couple wrong decisions and stuff like that, but it is what it is. And we ended up parting ways. But I just feel like with our relationship that should be separate because the woman shouldn't be taking animosity on me towards my child. I'm trying to be like the best father I possibly can. I love my son with all my life. He's my everything, dude. And the whole situation was just, in the wrong. It was just something that she thought I was doing, which I wasn't. I see him tomorrow again. We're going to go to Knott's, but it's unfortunate because now I got to deal with all this other shit, man. Now I got like people. I got the CPS people are involved now because of who I am and stuff. And I only get to see my son 4 hours out of the day. Got a supervisor that I got to literally pay freaking money to every time I see my son and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, it's affecting me because obviously I love my son and I want time with my son because prior to that, before I even fought Devin Haney or anything like that, they already tried to take my son away from me already when we first broke up. She took my son away from me. She filed like a whole restraining order on me and stuff like that. So I had to literally work my way up. I was only able to see my son for 2 hours out of the day, work my way up to 4 hours out of the day for 2 times out of the week. And then I finally ended up after I fought Devin Haney, finally ended up winning my 50-50 custody battle. I got 50-50 custody, dude. And then once I got the 50-50 custody, everything was good for 2 years. And then I had this little incident where they thought that I was driving intoxicated and stuff like that. And then they took it for the run again. I mean, and it's just unfortunate because it is affecting me, but it's also affecting my son too.
1,000%.
It's affecting my son, man. And they shouldn't be doing that because my son deserves the best, man. And I just hate that a lot of people are trying to be involved now. And it's just unfortunate because I want to raise my son the way I want to raise my son. And I want him to know that I love him and he's my son, dude. I care about him so much. So it's just a fucked up situation, but I'm very fortunate and I'm very, content of where it's at right now. And at the end of the day, I don't have no hard feelings toward them. I just got to do what I got to do. And I'm taking every single step that I got to take. I'm being responsible and I'm owning up for the decision that I made. The decision that I made was wrongful, that I had him in the car seat. They thought that I was driving, but I wasn't. And they took it for the ride. I mean, and it's fucked up because they know that I had a fight literally like 3 weeks after that, prior to that incident too. So like
that's just like a mental stress.
TMZ had to put it on and stuff like that. So it's just like, damn, man, like
absolutely, dude.
Like, why you gotta do that, man?
And that's why I asked because like there's tons of friends, even myself. He's went through. It's when you have kids, right? It's always a battle here and there, and you have your disagreements here and there. And it could get ugly, right? It could get ugly, and it's unfortunate that sometimes people use your kid to leverage it, or in arguments in bad places, to get their points across, whatever it is, right? And I don't know. I think I'm gonna get shit for this, but I don't care, man. I think automatically, even like
we're canceled.
In child custody, dude, I just think like I don't agree in California. I think that you shouldn't, if you're the dad, you shouldn't have to fight for 50-50 custody. At the end of the day, it should be giving equally to the dad, the mom, 50-50. Now, if the dad, don't get me wrong, is like you said, on drugs or can't take care of the kid, then you make the argument why to pull his 50-50 from him.
Exactly,
But automatically, it should be given to each parent. Because the dad's just as influential and important to that kid as the mom. And not saying that I'm not discrediting what the moms do, because moms kick ass and they take care of their
1,000%.
kids, and they're there for the kids. But I do think that it's wrong how they do it, as far as like most dads have to go fight for that 50-50 custody, and I don't think it should be that way. You always got to focus on, right? You guys, no matter what, it's gonna draw you guys together, because you guys have that little guy, that guy.
Exactly.
That's the love, right?
Yeah.
And you guys both have equal love for that little guy, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are both willing gonna put your life on your line for that. So why not work together to give this guy everything he fucking has, right? At the end of the day, you're both kind of fighting over the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So
and what pisses me off too is like when the TMZ article came out, I was like, yo, like who the fuck like leaked this shit and stuff like that? Like who the hell leaked it? And then I went on Twitter, and then like her uncle ended up writing like sad like on the Twitter thing, and like they stay together and stuff like that. And my son lives with them. So when I seen that text, I'm like, man, like are you guys doing it? You guys are not doing it like for the best interest of my son. You guys are doing it out of spite for me, like to try to hurt me. So that's like where it kind of like hurts me and gets me angry. But at the end of the day, I can't like take no action towards that, because I a lot of people think that I'm a fucking bad guy already. So at the end of the day, man, I just gotta brush it off, and I gotta kill him with kindness. And what I need to do is just really grind harder, man, and really get back to the top and just kill him with my success.
Yep, exactly.
That's
Absolutely.
a good mindset. Yeah, that sucks, because
But it's not even gonna kill him. It's not killing them with the success, because my success is gonna help my son out too.
Yeah,
It's gonna help. That's why it's like. It sucks that the child custody and the government and all that stuff gets involved, because the CPS and all that stuff gets involved, because all that costs money, dude. Lawyer fees, all that stuff all costs money, and all that money that people are spending on lawyer fees and going back into court and having to do all this and that and stuff like that. All that money could be saved and given to the child,
in a child's college or something.
Instead of fucking paying these fucking lawyers. I mean, like it's just bullcrap, man. But at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, nobody's perfect. Everybody's life there's ups and downs. Everybody has trials and tribulations. It's just a matter about how you deal with them and how you adjust to them. So, I mean, I'm not perfect. Things happen in my life, but I'm doing everything right to try to, be the best person that I possibly can.
Yeah. And that's why I like to, like I said, I never any disrespect or anything, but I like to give like the athlete or the celebrity that platform, because I feel like platforms like TMZ only take a piece of that incident.
They need to make it as juicy as possible.
They make it as juicy as possible.
Like child neglect. I'm like, what the?
I was
dude, like everybody sees me posting like me kissing my son, me loving my son and stuff like that. So I'm like, dude, like if somebody actually really believes this, man, it's like. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's I mean, we've all made mistakes as parents. There's not one perfect parent in the world. We've all done stupid stuff or something like, oh shoot. And it just sucks that you're a public figure. So they come and they put a magnifying glass on it and even add to it or make it sound a lot worse than it really is.
That's what it is. It's because of status. They put a magnifying glass. But I guarantee you, man, there's like, I'm gonna get shit for this too, but I don't care. I guarantee you, every goddamn parent has thrown their kid in the car without a car seat real quick.
I've done it.
Run something real quick. Hey, let me go run it real quick.
I've done it.
But you're gonna get the people that, oh my gosh, you shouldn't have done that. But at the end of the day, like parents aren't perfect, man. They make mistakes here and there. I don't feel like you should be super punished like that because you made that mistake. I mean, like I said, parents are humans at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, he cares for his son. He's there very easily. I feel like walked away, right? He could have said, "Screw it, I'm not dealing with the bullshit. I'm just gonna walk away from my kid." But he's going through it at the end of the day.
And I feel like good dads pay the price for fucking bad dads, dude. Like,
absolutely, too.
Dude, literally, man. Like,
you're trying to be a part. You're doing everything in your power.
I'm trying to be in my son's life. I'm trying to like do everything to be in my son's life. But I feel like they're trying to like not make me be in my son's life. I'm like, damn, like what the hell is going on, dude? Like it's just unfortunate, man. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let it affect me, man. What I just gotta do, what makes me the happiest the most is just having my son see my love.
Yeah.
And every time he sees me, man, he runs up to me. Even though like I only see him 3 times out of the week right now, for 4 hours every time. Tomorrow I'm gonna have him for 8 hours. So every time I see him, man, like it's like we never left each other, dude. It's like
cool,
we have that connection, that bond, man. So no matter how much they're trying to, separate us or distance us, man, they can't ruin our connection.
That's beautiful, brother.
I always like to ask this question. Obviously you're famous. So in that sense, with a kid, how do you balance like giving them like everything versus like kind of balancing that like proportional, like where you're making them work for it, putting that hard work, right? Yeah. Because obviously you're better off than your parents were when you were younger, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you balance that? Is it your what keeps you grounded and what keeps you pushing that way?
Right now, my son's 2 years old, so he gets whatever the hell he wants. I spoil him, man. He gets whatever he wants. I make sure that he's not a brat though. Like he's not a brat. He's a really good kid and stuff like that. But like I'm not the type of person that is like, no, you're not gonna get this. Like if he wants something, I'm gonna get it for him. Like, but obviously I'm gonna give it to him in like portions. Like if I give him a candy and stuff like that, he's gonna have a couple bites or something like that. But he's gonna get whatever like he wants right now, man. Until later on, once he's a little older and stuff, and once he's able to, because right now he's barely talking, he's barely communicating, so you can't really like shame him or discipline him or spank him or anything like that, man. You just gotta let him be, because he's barely showing his personality, barely showing who he is, barely laughing, giggling and stuff like that. So I just try to let him have as much fun as possible. So I get him whatever he wants, dude.
Yeah, dude, and I only ask that because like I have kids, he has kids, so sometimes I struggle with that, because like you said, like I grew up broke, so I am a little better than my parents were off. So with that, you want to give your kids like everything, like
everything you didn't have.
Yeah, right? I want, like that kid got a new bike, I want my kid to have a new bike too, or that guy got the PS5. Hey, I want my kid to have the PS5 too. Yeah. But it's not always in the best interest for them, right? In the long term, you like
if you do that the whole life, they'll never learn how to work for something, right?
Yeah,
and you kind of
absolutely.
enable them.
Exactly, and nowadays too, like. Just like the technology now, dude. I don't let him have like no iPad, or because he's only 2 years old, dude. So I don't like him when him having an iPad or using the phone as much. I only like him watching TV. I like doing like outside activities with them. I like hugging them, just playing with them, just being a lot more hands on, because I feel like at this point in time right now, since he's so young, I feel like I gotta be hands on, and I want him to experiment as far as being the person that I was when I was a little kid, like going outside, going on the slide, running, playing baseball, playing basketball, doing all those little like kid activities and stuff, instead of actually just watching something on the device. I feel like technology is like really, messing up, the society, dude. It's like really causing a lot of like laziness, depression, because people are just trying to look at are trying to compare people's lives and stuff like that. People are criticizing people's life, which is causing a lot of trauma in people's lives, causing a lot of depression, suicidal thoughts, all that stuff, man. So it's a up and down battle, dude. That's why I said it's just all about just balancing and adjusting about how you got to do it. So I think when my son gets older and stuff, it just all depends on like where I'm at now, where I'm at that time, but also just depends. Like I don't want him to have any devices until he's freaking like 14 or 15, man. Something like that, dude. I don't know, man.
Absolutely. And a lot of that stuff is fake, man. A lot of it is just strictly for that picture. They make the life seem like so perfect, right? On the Instagram, you go on there. Everybody's got
everything's
money.
like so artificial now, dude. It's like it's crazy, dude. It's crazy to just even think about it now, man. Like everything's just so like superficial and artificial. It's like it's just I don't know. It's just different now.
That's it. I have friends, man, that I know for sure. Like you're broke as shit, dude. But on Instagram, they look like
balling
they're
balling up. Living the best life possible.
They're like, dude, you do not drive that goddamn car, dude. I seen you.
They just take it.
Yeah, you're not.
I almost did that the other day. I saw a Lambo at the dinner restaurant. I was like, dude. I was like, I'm gonna do it, dude.
Just bought it for no reason. Yeah. That stupid little post that they put on.
Nah. Hey, Jojo, let me ask you this, brother. Knowing the boxing career that you had and what it's taken and what it's done, the toll it's taken on your body, the injuries, everything. If your son came up to you and said, I want to be a pro boxer, you supporting that, or are you trying to veer him off to maybe a different route.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to be a boxer, man. But like even now, dude, he's already like shooting his jabs at 2 years old, man. Like I wasn't even throwing jabs and stuff at 2 years old.
Yeah.
I literally started like being competitive, hitting my dad and stuff like that when I was like maybe like 9, 10 years old, just messing around and stuff like that. And then I got into the boxing gym at 11 years old, dude. Yeah. But my son is already like throwing jabs, having his hands up and stuff. So I just feel like he already has it in him, but I'm not going to like put any force on him. I'm not going to be that type of dad where I'm like, oh, you got to follow my footsteps. You got to be the fighter. No, it's like whatever he wants to do, man. If he wants to, be like a book smart, if he wants to be a baseball player, whatever he wants to achieve, dude, I just want to, just support him and go all in with whatever he wants. So if he wants to be a boxer, then I'm going to show him how to be a boxer, but I'm also going to show him the discipline and the hard work, what it takes. And if he can't do it, and if I see that he can't do it, then I'm not going to let him, because I don't want him to get hurt. I know what it takes to be at the top, and I know, and I've already been there and stuff and experienced it. So if I don't see that he has that discipline and dedication, then I'm going to tell him, like, son, like, I don't want you to do that. You're going to get hurt and stuff like that. I'm going to be as open as I possibly can, because at the end of the day, I want my best for my son. So whatever he wants to be and stuff, I'm gonna let him try it out, and whatever he loves, then he's just gonna do it.
Hey, do you think boxing is well, I see it from the outside, but do you think boxing, because like you don't grow up broke or you don't grow up without, it kind of takes that fight away from? Because if you look at most boxers, right, they come from like hard backgrounds, right? They're not really, they don't come from money most of the time or anything like that. So do you think that's something that's needed for a boxer, or do you think it's just like discipline for that actual boxer?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, look at Jake Paul, dude. Like Jake Paul has so much fucking money.
I just think it's the person.
He's disciplined. He's definitely. I just personally think it's the discipline in the person. It's the motivation of the person. It's the drive in the person. If you actually really want that. If you want that, and if you want that drive, you have to have a vision, man. You have to have a vision. You have to have a goal. And that's with anything in life, dude. Whatever you want to be in life, man, you really got to sit down and really visualize and really understand like who you are and what you want to achieve. And once you understand that, who you are and what you want to achieve, you progress and you acknowledge the fact, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. You start setting goals for yourself to get to that point. So I just think that it's just understanding and what you want to do and what you want to accomplish.
Yeah. You watch UFC fighting?
Here and there. Yeah.
Are you a fan, or are you like what they do, or do you think like you see a lot of flaws in that boxing versus you guys boxing?
Yeah, I sparred a couple of MMA fighters, man. I don't want to say their names or anything like that. Beat a couple of them up, man. It's just different because their like footsteps and everything are ready to get grappled, or their footsteps are ready to just throw a little kick and stuff like that. So their technique is a lot different than an actual boxing stance, because in a boxing stance, you have your leg backwards and you're able to just throw hand shots. But with MMA style, man, you're a little more flat-footed and you're a little more square, where you get hit in the stomach a little more and stuff like that. The openings are a little more open. So I think it's a whole different other sport, man. I would never ever enter the octagon. I'll get my ass choked out, dude. I think that's when I'll actually finally get knocked out, dude. Is in the octagon.
It's definitely awesome, man. I would like to watch a fight with you or another boxer, because I like to see, like, obviously us as fans, right? You're like, oh, why didn't he do that? Why didn't he do that? But from your guys' professional stance, you know why he didn't do that, right? You're like, oh, you see things that we don't see. You see openings that we don't see. So that's pretty cool, like the technical aspect of it.
Yeah, it really is, because I actually did a couple commentating for a couple shows for ESPN. ESPN, I was a commentator for a couple of their shows and a couple of events. So I was able to give my analysis, man. And I love giving my analysis in my 411 because I like breaking things down, because obviously, man, I've done this for my whole entire life. So I know exactly what they're trying to do. I know what they're trying to set up. I know their flaws. I see exactly what it is that they need to go and actually do. So it's really cool. Actually able to speak and analyze, man. After I was able to do that, I got a lot of good responses. They were telling me like, man, dude, you really put it in a fighter's perspective on what they were doing and how they achieved it and stuff. Because there was a couple of fights where when I was commenting, I was like, oh, like he's setting the right hand up, and boom, sure enough, the right hand comes and stuff like that. So I know a little bit what I'm talking about. So it's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool when you see like boxers or like MMA fighters transition into commentating because yeah, like you said, they know like the ins and outs. They could see somebody setting something up from like a mile away, dude.
Yeah.
Start calling it out, like you said. Like Sergio Moro's pretty good, right? at
Yeah, he's really
commentating?
good. Yeah, Sergio Mora,
Mora's
Timothy
pretty good.
Bradley, Andre
Yeah.
Ward. Yeah, I
What
feel like
how do you like Paulie Malignaggi, dude? You
I
like
love
it?
Paul.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's one of my best. He's
Paulie's
the best
dope,
one.
dude.
I think he's
Yeah.
the best one, hands down.
Yeah.
I think Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward have favoritism a little bit
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah,
their
that's what I
fighters.
don't like. That's
Yeah.
what I guess it's
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
as a commentator. But I don't like the favoritism. I like
You're
them
kinda
to be
biased toward it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
sometimes there is favoritism, like with
Yeah.
the people that like the fighters that they want to like make stars or something.
Oh, yeah,
They start
yeah,
like just showing or saying, expressing vocally
Yeah.
what they're doing right instead of like saying what the opponent's doing right as well,
Yeah.
or saying that the opponent landed a jab. They're just praising the other guy. So I think that's wrong. I think these commentators should just be mutual, have mutual respect for both fighters,
Yeah.
and just give a fair analysis.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, so when you got that big check, what was the first thing that you went out and bought? Like your first big check, what was the big thing that you went out and bought?
I bought a 2020 AMG GT 6.3.
Oh, no.
yeah. Those were 120,000.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I bought that, man. I gave my mom some money. Gave my baby mama obviously gave her some cash too. And then put a lot of savings into my son's account as well. I have a
Nice.
little savings for him
Perfect,
too.
yeah.
So once he gets older, when he's 21 years old, he's going to be able to touch that money. So
That's awesome.
Speaking
That's
about
awesome.
like money and stuff, you got any anything set up for life after boxing? You got any investments or you got any business plans or anything?
I got a couple investments right now, but I'm thinking about opening up a barbershop soon
okay.
with one of my close friends, and I actually want to start managing fighters.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
well, after my
nice.
career,
Yeah.
I would say I have about like 4 or 5 more fights.
Gotcha.
After my career's over, I want to start managing fighters, man. Just showing them the way of how to, not get fucked over by these promoters, and showing them how to market well, how to build a fan base, how to, do it the right way, and obviously not fucking rip them off too.
Yeah.
Like some managers, they could charge up to like 33.3% of their actual purse.
Shit, that's
a
33.3%,
Dang.
dude. My first manager, which is an asshole, he's an asshole, man.
That sucks,
I've had him
bro.
for about 8 years, and I ended up finally
Dang.
getting rid of him and stuff. But he was charging me 20%. 20% of all my earnings, dude.
Dang.
Everything.
They never even had to face a punch.
Yeah,
They never had to take a
that's
punch.
crazy.
Didn't have to face. Didn't have to take a punch.
Yeah.
I already had a name, everything established because of the Olympics and stuff. So
man.
he was just
That was
collecting the
easy
check.
money right there.
Yeah, easy money, dude. Collecting the check. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
So I want to do that, but I want to, obviously only charge people, up and coming fighters, probably like 8-10%,
Yeah.
and then just build their way, man. Give them money up front, so that way they're able to give them money up front. Maybe open up a boxing gym, maybe open up like a little training camp facility, so that way when I sign them, whenever they have a fight coming up, they stay in that facility, have a training camp and stuff like that, and then obviously give them money for they could be financially set, and then tax them.
I
tax
think
them
kind of
10%.
like Robert Garcia does that, right? And
Yeah, he does that. Yeah, he actually has like a little farm and everything
Yeah.
where he does, man. He
That's
has
in Riverside, I think?
Is it Riverside?
I know he was in Oxnard forever, but
Yeah, it actually is in Riverside.
is
Yeah,
it?
Riverside. Yeah.
he was in Oxnard forever, right?
Yeah, he has a lot of good fighters too. He has Vergil
Yeah.
Ortiz.
Yeah,
He has
yeah.
Jose Ramirez, Joshua Franco, Bam Bam Rodriguez. Yeah, he has a lot. He has a good stable, man, for sure.
Yeah, I seen that. That
Mikey Garcia too.
Mikey too. Yeah, they took he charged them very minimal, and I think there's a lady that cooks for everybody, and it kind of like plays like the house mom, and they all just train there. They gives them a place to sleep and stuff. I think that's pretty cool, man. I think that's like you're breeding the up and coming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
what's his
That's
name,
what I want to do.
Ryan Garcia, to bring him up, but he just left his Goosen, right? Joe.
Yeah, he left Joe, and I think he's going back to Eddie Reynoso.
That's
Oh,
what
is he gonna go back?
That's what I heard.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay,
heard that
okay.
he contacted Eddie Reynoso again. So we'll see how that goes,
That's
man.
crazy.
I just think that Ryan really just has to really focus on what he wants to do and what he wants to achieve. Like I said previously, man. I think that if he really wants to, do something in the sport of boxing, he shouldn't. He's like he did his last fight. He shouldn't really worry about taking L's anymore, man. He should really just, if he takes another L, it's okay, man. You're getting that experience, you're getting that knowledge, you're getting that ruggedness and that elite level of experience, so that way you could be champion, dude. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya, what he has about 8 losses. Manny Pacquiao has 8 losses and stuff like that. And these guys are legends, man. They lost titles. They ended up coming back. They won titles again. I have 3 losses and 1 draw, and I feel like my career is not over still, and I feel like I've already competed at the best of best and the highest of highs, where I'm able to compete at that level, dude. I know what it takes to compete at that level, so I've already been there, done that. You get me? So it's just all about just getting that opportunity again, just working hard, believing, training hard, and just focusing, and it's going to come again.
You have you said you got about 4 or 5 fights left. You have a dream opponent? Like somebody that's fighting currently?
Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, and Isaac Cruz. I want to get those fights,
What about
I want to get Tank Davis, dude. I want Tank Davis.
Yeah. Did you see like from a fighter's perspective, do you see like a lot of holes that he has?
He has a lot of holes, but like just for myself, man, like I've never been hurt. I've never been knocked down and stuff like that. So I know that I could give him a run for his money. I know that I'll be able to take his shots and land a shot. And it's a matter of if he could take my shot and how he deals with adversity. You get me? Because I've never been hurt. Because nobody has ever hurt me, man.
Pitbull took him pretty deep.
Yeah,
that was
Pitbull,
a good fight, man.
It was a 50-50 fight, man.
Yeah, it could have gone either way, to be honest.
So I think I would like to fight. Ryan Garcia, Pitbull, and then get a Tank Davis fight.
Yeah, I'm seeing. Yeah, I like
Pitbull fight. You and Pitbull, that'll be a dog fight.
Yeah, we'll duke it out, dude. Bro. Yeah, I was trying to get that fight. My next fight, man, but it was just unfortunate. I thought I won my last fight, man. I ended up dazing him in the 3rd round, and then when I fucking landed my shot in the 3rd round, I thought I broke my hand because my fucking hand just started like just throbbing, like aching pain. And I've had a broken hand before. So I thought, I was like, damn, I broke it. But usually with the broken hand, when you're fighting and stuff, it ends up turning numb. So you're able to throw it still after once it turns numb. But it never turned numb. And I fought the whole fight like that, and I still thought I pulled it off, but they ended up giving him the decision. But I thought if I would have won that fight, I would have fought Isaac Cruz next. Dang. But it's just a little setback now. I got to get 2 fights, and then once I get 2 fights, then I could get Isaac Cruz again. But I ended up going to the doctors and stuff. I ended up not getting any broken bones. It was just nerve damage. So I have a little nerve damage in my hand. So it's just, but it's not temporary or anything like that. It's only going to take about a month to heal. So I'm doing physical therapy and everything right now. Going 3 times out of the week, getting everything situated, and hopefully once I sign this deal with Golden Boy again, then I'll be fighting again July 8th.
Oh, July? You're going to go back that soon, huh?
July 8th, yeah. Hell yeah, man. I want to get back in that ring,
Is there a venue in there or a fight and everything already? Or
it's probably going to be in Texas on the Virgil Ortiz card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Nice. Yeah, I'll probably be the co-main on that card.
Texas. Will that be in Houston or
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it's going to be at, but Virgil Ortiz is from Texas, so it's definitely going to be in Texas. Yeah.
I see more and more fights actually taking place in Texas now.
There's a lot of Mexicans out there, man. A lot of Mexican boxing fans out there, dude, that are hardcore fans, man. I've fought at the Dallas, Texas stadium and Houston, Texas, the Astros stadium. On the Canala card, dude.
Oh yeah,
both co-main events, man. I was badass, dude. I was over 45,000 people. I was out there and I seen everybody. I was like, God damn.
Hey, a few of your fights, you went like all green with the hair and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I dyed my hair. Yeah, that was one time I dyed my hair green, dyed it all spotted out and stuff. That was when I was on my Bad Bunny stage.
Hell yeah. So that's gonna be the comeback, huh? That's gonna be
July 8th is looking like the comeback, man. So like I said, I'm just dealing with all the stuff in my personal life. I'm owning it up as a man, even though I feel like it wasn't, the way it should have turned out. But I'm here now and I got to deal with it. I'm taking it day by day, but I'm focused and I'm determined, man. And I really want to, get back to the winning contention. I want to get back to giving the fight fans and all the fans that believe in me and have hope in me, man. Just that hope and inspiration, dude. So I really want to, get back to a world title and winning a title, man. So that way, at the end of all my career, when it's all said and done, man, I have a good story to tell everybody, like all my ups and downs, all my trials and tribulations, everything that I overcome to be where I'm at that point.
Yeah, and I think that's me personally. I'd rather take advice from somebody that's actually messed up and went down those roads and actually came back and like went through the ups and downs in life, right? Because nobody's perfect. Nobody has the perfect life, right?
Exactly.
So for me to take advice, I want to go with somebody that's been there and is going to be real with me, right? And guide me in the right direction. Say, hey, you can go down that road. I went down that road. It's fucked up. If you choose to go down the road, this is what's going to happen. You know, right? I even like that type of parenting style. I like that parenting style, like when you're real with your kids and telling them, because life is hard, man. Life is hard, and you got to give the best advice based on your history. So,
how many kids do you guys have?
I have 5 kids, bro.
Damn, 5 kids. Damn, how old are you, bro?
I'm about 35.
Damn. Okay.
I started young, bro. Started super young. I started kind of the situation that you were in, like with baby mama. We were young. We had them young. Had to hit the grind right away, get to work right away. You know, like parents were, like I said, we weren't super well off. So he's like, hey, you got to go to school or you got to go to work. So went to work, provided now in a better financial situation than my parents were. And I could tell you, as far as advice goes, you can take it for what it's worth, but it does get better. It gets better as you get, because it's like history, right? It's like in the beginning, it's new to both of you guys, right?
Yeah,
it's new to both of you guys, that you guys don't know schedules, you guys don't know here and there, but it's gonna be definitely times that you're gonna need her, she's gonna need you, and you guys have to work together.
And it's a new type of trust that you guys got to establish with each other. That you're not trying to fuck her over. You got to realize that at times she's not trying to fuck you. You guys both just want the best for the kid.
Yeah.
So once you guys start more so developing that trust, you guys learn to work together. Kind of makes it easier.
As of right now, I gotta gain her trust back, man, because I feel like she's trying to rip one.
No, and like I said, I've been there. I'm sure you've been there. Like where you, there. The court system, and then also, like I said, the better outcome is to stay out of court. That's everybody's thing, is try to work it out.
Possible,
just stay out of court. Stay out of court, and just look out for the child's best interest. I feel like that's
exactly.
That's
at the end of the day, that's who's suffering the most, man. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
is the kid when they can't see a parent or the other. So
and at the end of the day, she's got to know, hey, you're doing the best for him. She's doing the best for him. You guys work together and make it work, man. You guys both want him to be successful, right? Nobody wants to see their kid struggle or anything like that, but I would. I think it'll get better, man.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. So best of luck to you. Do you have anything else that you want to plug or anything like that? Or
nah, man. Just you guys tune into my next fight. Hopefully, it's gonna be July 8th. Like I said, I'm finally working out these final details with Golden Boy Promotions. Hopefully, I'm able to end my career with them. And man, I'm just really excited about what's going on. I've already dealt with all the depression and everything that I've already been through, man, where I got a lot of needles and everything, all the knives and everything thrown on my back. But at the end of the day, man, I'm a warrior, dude, and I'm a fighter, and I'm gonna continue to fight for what I believe in and what I love, dude. And that's just what I want to be, and that's what I want to showcase to my audience and to my fan base, man. It's just, no matter what you're going through, dude, just stick to the plan and never fold. Just always constantly just move forward. Things are probably gonna look like it's the end of the world, but you just gotta, just praise God and just believe in Him, and just know that if you're alive and if you're not in jail, or if you're in that, man, you can live to fight for another day, dude. So that's what I want to showcase.
Yeah, for
well said, man. Well said. Yeah.
Like I was already a fan, like you said, we followed you up, but bigger fan, man. Like I said, just knowing, getting deeper with you and seeing like what kind of person you are, definitely a way bigger fan, and definitely follow you and rooting for you, man. Want to see you come back up and get those. I
was a fan of you as a boxer. Now I'm a fan of you as a person. Good dude, brother.
I appreciate
man.
it, dude.
Yeah.
But good luck with your upcoming fight. Are you in fight camp already, or when's it?
No, I'll probably be in fight camp like in 2 weeks, man.
Okay.
2 weeks I'll be in fight camp. This time, dude, like I said, my other camps, dude, I was fucking up, dude. I wasn't really dedicated because I was still dealing with a lot of stuff just personally and stuff like that. So this camp, man, I'm just going to be really, really devoted. I'm going to have a more structured camp where I'm going to have my whole team just in one house, and we're just going to just really eat, sleep, and box, dude. I'm not going to have any other distractions, and you guys are going to see the best Joseph Diaz that I possibly am, man. I'm going to really showcase to everybody what I'm all about and give you guys the best possible me I possibly can in the next outing.
Hey, I got a quick question, man. Is this true or false? Is that no sex before fights? Is that a big thing? Or is that really?
Man, I bust cheeks all the way to the weekend. All the way to the weekend. Man.
It didn't make it's no effect.
I don't think it's no effect. I mean, maybe I'll probably stop just to see if it is. But for me, man, I got a lot of testosterone and stuff like that. So I feel like I need that, dude. I need that. I got a lot of stress and stuff. So if I bust cheeks, man, I'm more relaxed. You know
all right, dude. All right, that's good. That's why I didn't become a boxer.
Yeah, that's why too, dude. If I known that, I would have been a boxer, bro.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you coming on, brother. And good luck with everything, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, we'll try to make it out. Texas, we'll try to make it out.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that, brother.
Thanks, brother.